Hello, good people of the interweb. Today is a pretty sad day because if you remember, Casey Kasem, one of the most popular voices and most notable icon in media, in television and radio, has been suffering a a great deal of pain and suffering because since he has something that stops him from walking and talking. I'm gonna read about it and share my thoughts about this whole situation. This comes from the New York Daily News.com, and this is about his current situation. And if you hear some stuff outside, that's only because I only have my shutter door open, so you're gonna hear a lot of things happening outside. Casey Kasem won't resume artificial feeding and fluids. Judge rules reversing prior ruling. Casey Kasem is in the late stages of Lewy body disease, a progressive form of dementia that robs many patients of the ability to walk and talk. Okay. The judge overseeing Casey Kasem's family feud reversed course Wednesday and revoked an earlier decision ordering doctors to artificially feed and hydrate the radio icon. You have blood on your hands, Kasem's wife of 34 years, Jean, said as she stormed out of the LA courtroom following the decision. You just imposed a death sentence, her lawyer Steve Haney added as he followed her out. Judge Daniel S. Murphy said he changed his mind after receiving medical records from St. Anthony's Hospital near Seattle, saying the ailing American top 40 host was not responding to artificial nutrient and fluids, leading to painful complications. It would be accurately harmful for Mr. Kasem to have nutrient and hydration restored at this time, the judge said. This was at the advisement of doctors at St. Anthony's. The judge upheld an earlier conservatorship granted to eldest daughter Carrie and said she can continue calling the shots during her dying dad's final days. Sorry. Uh, he said Jean did not act in the best interest, quote unquote, of her sick 82-year-old husband when she removed him from a quote unquote skilled California nursing home at 2:30 in the morning, May 7th, against doctor's orders and took him to a private residence in Washington State. Jean, 59, gave an impassioned speech to the judge before his Wednesday order claiming she and her daughter Liberty. Sorry. Oh, let me read that over. Jean, 59, gave an impassioned speech to the judge before his Wednesday order claiming she and her daughter Liberty have been terrorized by Carrie since last year. We have lived in sheer horror of this girl, she said, pounding her fist on the courtroom table over and over. She claimed her husband expressed his wish to live using eye and eyebrow movements during a 5-minute meeting at the hospital last week. They had to pry his hands off me, she told the judge under penalty of perjury. Carrie has had in her possession her father less than a week and decided to stop all medication and kill him, she testified. Carrie's lawyer, Troy Martin, vehemently disputed that claim. Nobody wants Mr. Kasem to die. This is without question the most difficult thing I ever had and ever have to do, and Carrie has had to do, Martin told the judge Wednesday. He said doctors at St. Anthony's did try artificial hydration, and it resulted in Mr. Kasem almost drowning. This is very, very heart-wrenching, Martin said. Mr. Kasem is receiving morphine drips. Hydration might be a terrible way to die, but he's receiving medication to keep him comfortable. And of course, as you know, Casey Kasem, the original voice of Shaggy on the TV cartoon Scooby-Doo, is in the late stages of Lewy body disease, a progressive form of dementia that robs many patients of the ability to walk and talk. He was admitted into intensive care June 1st in critical condition with an infection related to a serious bed sore, the hospital said in a statement last week. We've tried everything to keep him alive. We did put him back on fluids, but we had to take him off again because his lungs were filling up. Sounded like he was drowning. It was excruciating watch, Carrie, 41, told Daily News Monday. The feeding was backing up because he can't digest, she said, her voice choking with emotion. This is breaking my heart. We've been trying for 9 days to keep him alive. There's nothing more we want to do than for our dad to be here with us. Well, I don't know what's worse. Having a form of a disease that make you think you see something, but you see something else. Or the fact that this form of dementia will not only make you stop walking, but talking as well. So your communication and movement is completely halted. I don't know what's worse than that. No human, and I say this again, no human in this world should ever have to live like that. Even if hospitalized, no person should be like that. I feel that, in the interest of living, you're supposed to live good. You're supposed to, make sure you're well taken care of and that you take care of yourself. But when your own family has to fight over you, and you have no say in it, and you basically have no type of movement, have no type of communication whatsoever. That's a terrible thing. That's a terrible thing. I know Casey Kasem played a big part in the media world because, like I said, he, along with Dick Clark, were icons. I mean, there were plenty of icons back in the day. I mean, you had Bob Barker, you had Casey Kasem, Dick Clark, and whoever else that lived back in the '80s that was so 80s, 90s, that basically played a part in TV show history. Like the ever well loved Richard Dawson, God bless his soul, and Ray Combs. Now these are TV personalities that I'm mentioning. Even though they have done more than likely game shows, they've done other notable works. This here is Casey Kasem. This is the dude that was the original voice of Shaggy on the 1970s old cartoon, which basically spawned into so many other cartoons, Scooby-Doo. This show basically made him an icon because he was Shaggy. And of course, the original Scooby-Doo was the late Don Messick. The sad thing is, well, if he goes, man, that's another icon. And I mean another icon in TV and radio history that has faded to the test of time. And he won't be able to die peacefully. He'd die under. I'd feel he'd really die under heartbreak, because him in this condition, this makes him. It kind of puts more stress on him because he's not able to stop it. From the fact that his wife wants to do one thing, and I believe his eldest daughter wanted to do something else. They couldn't come to like mutual understanding, which I believe is a problem. And of course, the fact that this is a famous Hollywood icon. The he's known through America's Top 40. And he called the shots for, every piece of music video or song that ever came out. To lose him, that would be a tragedy. And I do mean it would truly be a tragedy. Now, I'm not saying this as, damn it, I keep doing that again. I don't say this as someone who has grown up watching TV. I say this because, um, I say this because life is too short. I read an article in which a family cannot get along to try to possibly extend this man's life. And they can't come around to, making a compromise for his well being, his safety, and more importantly, his life. I wouldn't be surprised if a few days pass and I read that this man, God rest him, would end up dead. Or he would pass on. And it would be terrible to read about it. But family is, of course, important. And every family should basically try to get along. Or at least respect one another. Respect their wishes. Support them in their time and hour of need. And for the most part, come together as a group. Learn to compromise. If nothing can't be agreed upon, learn to compromise. And certain families just don't have that. That's a sad thing. That's a really sad truth about all this. And, family. Even in my family, I have to admit, even in my family, before our house was renovated, we couldn't learn how to compromise. because one person wants this, another person wants that, and this person wants this, and this person wants this. I just said, if I said, really, you want to work on something, work on my ceiling. Work on my ceiling, and if something does come up and I need something fixed, I'll let you know. So the workers did compromise with what I just said. I have a new ceiling because of that. So new everything. Everything's new. Well, just the ceiling in here is new and the smoke detector. But aside from that, the point is, family should be strong. A tight knit unit. At least they should try and strive to be one unit instead of a couple of voices that are yelling and fighting over their own lives, what to do with them and everything else. This is the icon we're talking about. This is a man who has done possibly the best thing you can possibly listen to if you still listen to radio now. His life soon to be snuffed out by a disease that he can't fight back from, and God be willing if he wanted to. But the problem is his family didn't learn how to get along. So with that, my friends, do remember to try and work out something with your family. Learn to compromise. Learn to make an agreement. Learn to make a middle ground so that everybody can see the bigger picture at hand. I think that's the main reason why I did this article here. Because why not? Anyway, I will see you around with more videos. Hopefully something more lighthearted than what you just heard right now and what you just saw. So if you have any comments, any kind of feedback, they are more than welcome. I'd be so pleased if you would try to have a say in this. So until next time, I'm the Tenkaichi of Gaming and Otaku. Later on, guys. Later on.